I'm always seeking to invite people to have a strong spiritual practice. You've heard the statement, practice makes perfect. I don't use that statement. It is the practice of perfection that makes perfect. What does that mean? Many people have perfected worry. They've perfected doubt. They've perfected fear. They've practiced it for so long that it's become a part of the baseline by which they live from. And so we're not just practicing, we are practicing spiritual principles. We're practicing the art and science of meditation. We're practicing the art and science of life visioning. We're practicing the art and science of associating with people that are high-minded, that are about unfoldment, that are about building a kind and just global society. We practice being in spiritual community, which, as I've said over the years, spiritual community grants you immunity from the lower frequencies of life. So though I encourage individuals to have spiritual practice, it's not just practice, it's actually practicing certain ways of being, thinking, saying, studying, who you're hanging out with, until that becomes your way of life. You've heard me teach over the years that I don't believe there are any special people on the planet. What separates people, as I've said recently, are their verbal, mental, emotional, and physical habits. That basically habits separate us. That there's no hierarchy of special people or people that got an extra dose of the presence and someone else didn't get it. There are people who have basically developed a habit of uncovering their gifts and practicing at such a level that they become masters. Whether, of course, that is the mastering of a musical instrument, the mastering of a yoga practice or a qigong practice or meditation or architecture or choreography or teaching, healing, whatever the case may be. If you develop a practice along that which you love, a discipline along that which you love, and of course discipline, the word discipline comes, a root word of that is to love. So if you love something deep enough, and you develop a discipline around it and you develop a practice around it, you'll become proficient and masterful, and people may think, oh, that person is special. No, they're not special, they just specialized their time and their attention to actually cull and activate those particular gifts that were within them. So I'm always encouraging people to have a spiritual practice, and of course the baseline of spiritual practice for me is meditation. That leads to life visioning and other practices as well. Now, what I want to talk to you more about today is that you want to protect your consciousness, particularly during this time of political theater, political polarization, upcoming election that's about to take place. There's a climate that is incendiary. I just read today that they're finding the many ballot boxes being burned here in Los Angeles and in other places around California. I've read, of course, that there was unofficial ballot boxes placed around in churches and buildings were supposedly for ballot harvesting, but other people have speculated that they were taking certain ballots out, throwing those away, and turning the other ones in. So there's a climate of voter suppression. There's a climate of fear, political polarization. There's all kinds of things going on that we want to enter into a space within ourselves where we're not being pulled down by the negative trending of individuals that are about the silly games of voter suppression and things of that particular nature. When I say protect your consciousness, what do I mean by that? I mean, you want to enter into such spiritual practice that your mind becomes a fortress of solitude and of love and of beauty, so that you become a fiat of right action in the world, you see. Now, regardless of the outcome of the election, there's going to be a lot of energy that is going to be unleashed in our country and around the world. And so you want to make sure that your awareness is pristine so that you are indeed an ambassador of the next stage of human evolution. Now, here's what you have to understand. The universe is progressive, and the universe evolves by what is called emergence. That is, we're surrounded by universal spiritual ideas that proliferate the quantum field. They arise through emergence when the condition is right. So regardless of, and I'm not saying who becomes president is unimportant. Please don't hear that. I'm just saying that if in fact disastrous results happen, it cannot prevent the fundamental progress of the universe if enough people are holding the high space for the divine and perfect idea to emerge. You see, there's no one can stop an idea whose time has come, to quote Victor Hugo. So we are the ambassadors of a kind and just global society. We're the ambassadors of a new paradigm that's emerging. We are the ambassadors of holding the space, even though we're in a fluxed up time in human history where things are in flux, so there's no norm. We are the ambassadors of a new way of being, even during people being afraid of COVID-19 and whatever next thing will emerge to bring people to their knees in fear. We are the ambassadors of that energy that will be the condition for the emergence of that which we are already surrounded by. Did you hear what I just said? We are surrounded by not only a presence, but we're surrounded by ideas in that presence of perfect beings, of perfection unfolding through human beings, and a civilization and a world that we can live in. It's already here, but it must be seen and caught in consciousness before it can manifest. So protecting one's consciousness means, as I've said Sunday, to perfect and activate and ignite your superpowers. Your superpowers of right conversation, speaking of possibility more than you speak of problems. Right seeing, looking for the possibilities and the opportunities that are in everything, everywhere, all the time, so that it's not what you're looking for, it's what you're looking with. You're looking with the state of consciousness. And the superpower of heart, being, you see. Now, for those of you who haven't done so already, beginning tomorrow, as a matter of fact, at 11:30. 11:30. No, it's 6:30. You have to go to my app. I'm looking at these notes here. And 6:30 a.m. Pacific time and 4:30 Pacific time, I'm going to be doing 2 different sessions of teaching the art and science of meditation. And it's on my app. You can go to michaelbbeckwith.com and get the app. There's a lot of freemiums on the app. There are wonderful things you can get on the app for free, but this particular meditation retreat, you have to sign up and use the app to get at the retreat. But it's going to be a wonderful time for all of us to come together. And for the next 3 days, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, between 90 minutes to 2 hours in the morning, 90 minutes and 2 hours in the late afternoon, I'm going to teach the art and science of meditation. I'm going to be giving, what meditation is. I'm going to be giving how to transmute certain things within you. I'm going to be giving cues for breath. I'm going to have Guapale with me. I'm going to have Lyra out of South Africa with me to give music for every session. You want to be there. Tell your friends and family to join you so they don't disturb you when you sign up. You understand what I'm talking about? Just as you have a do not disturb button on your phone, You want to have a moment of non-disturbance for the next 3 days. Now, so we're going to be 90-minute session in the morning, 90-minute session late afternoon. But in between those sessions, if you can maintain your sanctuary consciousness, your on-the-mat consciousness, through the practice of meditation and study and kind of retreating, it's called retreat, find yourself at home, that's optimal. Now, if you can't, and you can only dedicate yourself to those 2 particular times, it's going to be very beneficial anyway. And then, of course, it's being recorded so that you can come back after you sign up and glean the teachings and the practices for a very long period of time. So that's beginning tomorrow, Thursday. michaelbbeckwith.com. Get the app. It'll show you how to get the app. It's a streaming app. And you'll have access, obviously, to all the other things that are on the app and the different freemiums of inspiration. But I want you to take this meditation retreat. Now, normally, we'd be in person. We'd have a spring retreat. By now, we would have possibly the New Year's retreat, which we still may try to have. But this is the best way we could meet right now. And with the climate being the way it is, it's almost imperative that we stop, recollect ourselves, come to center, so that we can be the healing balm in what's going down in our country and on the planet at this time in human history. I should tell you this. If you can't join us for the next 3 days, you can watch the sessions at times that work best for your schedule. You get 6 months free access to the premium content on my streaming app when you sign up. So it's really very inexpensive and very more than practical for us to come together. So let's unpack what I just said. We're living in a moment in which history is being made. You don't want to be merely a history observer, you want to be a history maker. How can you predict the future? You make it. You become an emissary of design. So with things no longer being normal and all kinds of things happening, you want to protect your consciousness so that you have a level of sovereignty, a level of solitude, a level of feeling connected to the presence. So whatever goes down, you become an ambassador of the next stage of human evolution, regardless of what goes down. Because the universe progresses not by who's in office, even though who's in office is important. And also the other things that you have to vote on are very important. Senators, the Congress people, the different ways that certain things will be run locally, very important. But none of it can stop an idea's time to come. None of it can stop that. None of it can stop it. It can assist, but it can't stop it, you see. If enough people are gathered with protected awareness and are using their superpowers properly, we can be a field of emergence, hospicing the old, midwifing the new, in ways that are beyond your wildest imagination. So I want you to really think about that. Deepen your spiritual practice. Tune in on Sundays to Agape, as many of you already do. Tune in to our morning meditation, our noon meditation at 12. Tune in to our morning prayer time at 8 Pacific time on Agape's and my Facebook page. And for those of you who don't know it now, we're on YouTube on Sundays as well. So there's YouTube access, Agape's YouTube page, Michael Beckwith YouTube page, Facebook, agapelive.com. All of those are ways that you can access the teachings to keep your consciousness high. So I think that's what I want to cover to you today. That we're in some interesting moments, and we no longer want to be pushed by the pain. We're going to be pulled by a vision. So I need you to unleash your superpower so that you're living in vision and possibility, vibrationally, not just intellectually, vibrationally. See Mom Sui. I see my brother there from South Korea. God bless you. And because meditation is the key. So I'm looking forward to seeing you at my virtual meditation retreat. Go to michaelbbeckwith.com, get the app, the streaming app, and let's practice Thursday, Friday, and Saturday together, and then meet at Agape on Sunday virtually and celebrate it all. So I'm seeing you guys, sending Mudgy about your heart, Christine Beyond, and Tammy, tuning in from Scottsdale, and Mr. Larnell, and so many of you. Health and ease. Okay, I like that. It says, how do you get the details for the meditation retreat? You go to agapelive.com or just go to my website. Go to michaelbbeckwith.com. It'll give you all the details right now. Or on my Instagram page, you'll see the information on it. Just right there on my Instagram page. It'll direct you to michaelbbeckwith.com. Okay? There's my brother from South Korea. I love you so much. Soul Gallery, Just Jacob 26. It's from South Africa. Hey, Lyra is going to be one of my main singers on my meditation retreat. I call her South African royalty. Someone from Australia is signing up. Look at all these beautiful people from all over the world. Denise, yes. Memphis, Tennessee, yes. Someone said, I can remember the energy from the Saban Theater. Hey, I'm still putting it out the Saban Theater to an empty house. So when you see me on Sunday speaking, there's only 3 or 4 people in the audience. You see. Turkey, Istanbul, yes. Miriam from Dubai. Soul Gallery from Chicago. Tatha Chong from Roseville, California. Matisse Sanchez from Argentina. Canada. I see you. I see you there. I see you there. I see you. I see you. Ecuador. Jenny from Ecuador. Fayetteville, Georgia. We want to embrace Georgia. Brazil. Kuwait. London. Christine Davis from London. Atlanta, Georgia. I'll be in Atlanta, Georgia, I think, November the 7th for Dr. Barbara Lewis King's memorial service at Hillside. Paris. Martinique. It's from Paris. Peace and blessings. Susan's from Canada. Prime Connections from Dallas. Sweden is in the house. Look at you. Romania is in the house. Austria is in the house. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. Brooklyn Bridge. Magical. I see you. So, I'll keep reading some of those names, but I just want you to be aware that we're living in times in which a lot of people are fearful of these times, but fear not. The potential of humanity is bigger than the problem, but that potential must be activated through spiritual practice. Potential is always bigger than problem. That's a spiritual principle, but it must be activated, it must be embraced. And this is why we have the meditation retreat. This is why we have the services. This is why I come on Instagram Live on a regular basis to activate possibility within us all. And the encouragement around life visioning, the encouragement around prayer, affirmative prayer, not begging and beseeching, the encouragement around meditation, the encouragement around keeping up your yoga practice, keeping up your qigong practice, if that's your practice, taking care of the body temple, right nutrition for the body temple, right exercise for the body temple, right thought for the mind. These are all important. This is not a time to slough off. Start to eliminate the sugar out of your diet. Do you understand that 94% of the people who have passed from COVID had 2 other comorbidities? In other words, they didn't die just from COVID. They had 2 other things, either diabetes or obesity or heart issues or kidney issues. They had cancer. They had other things. So the COVID situation has just revealed that Americans are very sick, and that almost 70%, according to Sean Stevenson, almost 70% of people are on some kind of pharmaceutical drug. So we have to take our health back. We have to take our health habits back. You see? So people aren't just dying from COVID, they have other comorbidities, you see, that are going on. We want to take our health back so that if you get COVID, you get COVID. You don't die from it, you see? But how can that happen? Proper nutrition, proper hydration, proper exercise, proper thought, meditation, prayer, all of these things work together. All of these things work together. All of these things work together. That's what I know for sure. So I'm going to bid you adieu now. Look on my Instagram page. You'll see how to sign up for the retreat. Go to michaelbbeckwith.com. Get the streaming app. You'll figure out how to do it, and sign up for the retreat. It begins tomorrow morning. Got it? Let's go into a moment of prayer together. Infinite Spirit, divine presence that is never in absence, closer to us than our very breath, closer to us than our neck vein. We enter into a divine field of gratitude and thanksgiving that we are awake, aware, and alive. And in this field of gratitude, our perceptual windows are cleansed and clean, and we begin to recognize there is a presence that is never absent. It is everywhere, and that we are one with this presence. It is, I am. We can say that to ourselves or out loud right now. It is, therefore I am. It is, therefore I am. And from this great connection of our I am presence, the word is spoken for each and every individual tuning in right now and at a later date. This word is serving as an activation to our potential of dynamic peace, a deep sense of well-being, a deep sense of health and harmony and wholeness, a deep sense of harmonizing prosperity and abundance, safety, and absolute assurance that everything is working together for our individual and our collective good. I know this to be the truth. This word is a word of elimination to anything that's hindering, delaying, blocking, or obstructing the full measure of life from flowing through us right now, individually and as a community that's granting us all immunity from the lower frequencies of life. I feel it in my bones. And I give thanks for this. And I allow it to be so. And so it is. Amen.
If you want another awesome video in our Black Excellence series, check out the video right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.